Okay, I think we are set to go. Mr. Kakuru, please, you can just go on. We shall give announcements and other things at the end. You can just go on.
Okay. I welcome everyone to today's workshop, day 2, where we are looking at ICT integration in the competence-based curriculum. Today's facilitator is none other than Dr. Bernard. About me, I'm sure we are looking at the screen. I'm a teacher of geography and ICT. This is since 2013. I've been in schools, and I'm also a digital content facilitator with Yaka Digital Network, as well as a master trainer. So today, we are looking at using ICT in activity-based teaching and learning. It is our day 2, the session organized by s1.org. And we are still demystifying the new curriculum. So let's connect. We have our first activity. We are going to explain the following terms. That is digital natives and digital immigrants. So I'm going to play for you a clip. Then after, we can share lessons from this clip.
Do you recognize me? Very soon I will be your student. But I will not always sit in your classroom. I will not take out a pencil or open a textbook. You grew up with books. I read from a laptop, an iPad, a smartphone. I use a keyboard more than a pen. I'm a digital native, an active learner. Why carry just a textbook when my iPad connects me to the world? I want to know things all the time, and right away. Maybe the best price for cool shoes, or where to hike the Himalayas. To learn, I look online, because the classroom isn't enough for me. Not when I can see faces, hear voices, and chat with people on the other side of the world. I want to learn about Chinese history from someone in Beijing. My school has to keep up with me, not the other way around. I have more and more choices. When you were my age, no one had heard of a charter school. No one could imagine a virtual school. But it's projected that by 2019, half of all high school courses will take place online. I use mobile devices to connect with friends, classmates, and teachers. And when I'm more connected, I'm more interested. I don't buy music at a store, or movies or books. I get them instantly online. And when they excite me, I share with friends. That's how I want my education to be. I need a degree even more than my parents. I know it, and so do my friends. But will I be prepared? Public grade schools are under huge budget pressures, and traditional college is increasingly unaffordable. I don't want crushing debt. If I can Google the best choice for cool shoes, rest assured I'll find the best choice of education, like 2-year institutions and online courses where students like me have grown to be 6 million strong. And when I'm older, I want to keep learning. Do you recognize me? Very soon, I will be changing the world. But I need you. If you're ready to help me, I'll find you. But it's your challenge to keep up with me. I'm a digital native, an active learner. Listen to me, help me. Together, we can create the future.
Okay, I'm sure the voice was clear. The video was also clear.
Yes.
So we can share lessons from that clip. You can use the chat as well. You can raise your hand and share what you've learned from that clip. You can as well use the chat section. Yes, Jackson, you can unmute.
Yes, sir. What I'm realizing from this video, here is a learner that has been in these common classes of ours. That is a blackboard and chalk, but that learner seems to be bored, and is a learner that is used to gadgets, using of computer, using of ICT gadgets.
Yes.
So it's calling on the teacher to come and find him or her. The student is already bored of the other old type of teaching. Thank you.
True. Thank you, Jackson. That is a view from Jackson, and it was actually very bright. Let's hear from, I saw another hand. Okay. We can as well use the chat. Okay, I don't see any other hand. And I don't see, okay, Dembe is clapping hands. Yeah, your view was really good. Thank you. Okay, I don't see more hands, and I don't see anything in the chat. Okay, you see Hilary, okay. Hilary, you can unmute yourself and talk to us. Hilary, this is Agava Hilary.
Thank you, Mr. Kakuru. Yes, please.
Go on.
Okay, for me, how I see this kind of teaching is very good compared to the previous one, because it gives the learner the chance to show at least what he or she can manage. But within the other one, remember, it was teacher-centered, and most of the learners were not getting the chance to interact with the real world. So now they have got the chance. So it is of a great advantage to have this kind of teaching. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Agava. Maybe before you can go, could you briefly talk about digital natives and digital immigrants?
Okay, I can talk about that one. When we talk of digital natives, they are those ones who, okay, we have the word that we usually use called the BBC, born before computer.
Hey.
So those who were born before computer, they are the ones we can call the digital migrants. Then the natives, they are the current people that we have now who were born. For example, you find someone with 2 years, but interacting with the phone and other ICT related gadgets. So those are the digital natives.
Thank you very much, Gava. Dembe, you can also take on the mic.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Kakuru. Can you hear me?
Very well.
Good. Yeah, for me, I've observed in the video that you've played is that schools were stationed and students should to go to a stationed school. But right now, schools are going to be virtual, and it is the teacher to look for a student, in fact. It's a teacher to go and connect, an instructor to go and connect to a student, not a student to come to a stationed school. Thank you very much.
Thank you too. So together we can create the future. And so now, if I can get someone to summarize this slide, I can pick Dembe still. Your mic is still on. You could take on this slide. Dembe, you still have a chance to take on the slide. Yes, you could briefly read for us.
I read.
Yes.
Digital natives is a term used to describe a person born or brought up during the age of digital technology, and so familiar with computers and the internet from an early age. Digital migrants is a term. Sorry?
Immigrants.
Digital immigrants, good, is a term used to describe a person born or brought up before the widespread use of digital technology?
Yes, thank you. I think this one was well explained by our colleague. For him, he's using a term BBC, born before computers. Those are the digital immigrants, and then the digital natives. These are the ones we can say they have born, they found machines there, they're interacting with them. Yes. So going forward now, we want to know what is ICT basically. Because in today's session, we are looking at ICT integration. You know that when the competence-based curriculum was introduced, they are emphasizing use of ICT in every subject. In every subject, not as a subject, but use ICT in every subject. So if we talk of ICT, it is important to remember that ICT is not only about computers. So ICTs are embedded as teaching or learning tools in the new curriculum. So when you look at my slide here, I've categorized ICT into, I've broken it into three sections. Talk of information. So we have those devices that give you only information. Talk of a DVD player, television, you go on the internet and search, use the calculator for calculations, you are listening to the radio. These ones are giving you information and many more. Talk of communication. We have collaborative tools such as emails, send and receive. You can talk of a telephone or a fax machine, talk of a mobile phone. We have other social media applications, talk of WhatsApp, talk of Facebook. Then we have those webcams. Then when it comes to technology, talk of a digital camera, a laptop, game consoles, robots, MP3 players. This is all about gadgets now. So when you look at ICT, we want to use these different gadgets in the learning environment so that our learners really are not bored. They are learning even beyond the classroom, and they are learning for the future, producing an all-round learner as the competence-based curriculum suggests. So I'm going to request my colleague, Rogers, if you are on, please, you can launch the poll. You're on?
Yes.
Yes, you launch the poll so that members can give suggestions, the status. Okay, so there we have our poll. Go through the questions and select where we have a single choice. You choose one question. I mean, you choose one answer. Then where we have multiple choice, that is question 2, you can choose more than one answer, no problem. Okay. Responses are flowing. So far, one person. So far, 4 people. Let's keep it flowing. Okay, so from there, I think we are looking at assessing access to ICTs by most of us. So question 1 was saying that, do you have a personal computer with internet access for your work as a teacher? Question 2 was asking which of the following ICTs are available at your school. So you could tick a variety. So I'm going to request my colleague Rogers to display our results. Okay. So when you look at these results, at least most people participated. 20 out of 27 participants, they are saying that yes, they have a laptop and a smartphone, and they can use them for internet as they do hotspotting. 4 out of 27, that is 15%. I only have access to a computer with an active internet connection at office or at their stations of work at school. Then 3 out of 27, they suggested, I don't have a readily available computer. I only get to use one in rare cases. Okay. Then question 2. Which of the following ICTs are available at your school? Okay. 20 out of 27, they have a projector. 10 out of 27, they have loudspeakers. 22 out of 27, at least this is high, they have printers. 5 out of 27, they have digital cameras. Then 11 out of 27, they have a TV or a display screen. Then 8 out of 27, they have radios. 7 out of 27, they have tablets or smartphones for children to use. And I'm sure these are the ones who have benefited in the digital learning when schools were closed. Then 6 out of 27, internet connectivity. And then 4%, that is 1 out of 27, they belong to others. Okay, so that was a quick one, and we have responded.
Mr.
And this
Bernard,
one now, yes, please.
I think it's because we are doing the training on Zoom, so these people already have internet. But the other NCDC trainings we were having, if we made that poll there, majority don't have a computer. I've been surprised that 72% here. I think we are dealing with rich teachers here.
Yeah, most likely. But at least this has really driven us to get some responses. Okay. So now, when you look at these teachers, these are teachers of humanities, the arts subjects, that's how we use it to call them. So in this video, we are going to see how these teachers are using ICT tools in their subject or in their different subjects. So this one, we had it at a training in the Namtamba Center, where we had a physical training. We can also look at this briefly and then we proceed.
I think it is going to open in a browser. It's going to open from YouTube direct. It's not embedded here.
Oh, I think I will also have to play it from that side.
Yeah, you can click on that link.
I will share the other screen. Hopefully you can see my other screen.
Yes.
Okay.
But did you share the sound as well?
Yeah, I shared. Just the
in a class, and I had to put on that video to show them how I'd let.
Let's wait for it to load.
I'm called Timmy Jet from Tigarama Forward. I've ever used ICT while teaching. For example, when I was teaching a lesson about wildlife, I got a TV, I went with it in a class, and I had to put on that video to show them how wildlife looks like. And we were able to identify some of the wild animals within a zoo. Not only that, but also using our phones themselves, you could go to Google and put in wildlife.com and so on, the phone bricks, and you make them watch from your phone. Not only that, but
Okay,
also,
those ones you may finish for others. Can you clap for her? Okay, thank you very much. Let us give the next person.
Thank you. I'm Leandro Geoffrey, teacher of history. I've used my phone several times to get resources. So I've taken photos and I move my phone in class. Or at times I take in the computer lab, they print the information, set the photos, and then I distribute in class such that my learners can have access to such information. Say in the village, you can take the grass thatched house according to the topic I'm going to handle, or the rudimental tools. Then I present them to the learners.
Okay, can you clap for him? Next.
Thank you very much. Good evening, colleagues. Wanjira Forwis is my name, teacher of geography at Spark, St. Patrick College. When I was teaching map reading and photograph interpretation, what I do, I get my smartphone, I move around the environment. So when I'm basing on human photographs, I take photographs basing on human nature. I go to the market, I go to boreholes, I go to swamps, gardens, and what have you. Then after, I print them. After printing, I make sure at least I display many copies as far as basing on number of students. From there, I base what kind of topic I'm teaching. Or if not, if I'm looking at physical photographs, I download the physical photographs only, then I put them in my PC laptop, then I show them to compare and contrast. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I'm Sempe Okasim, Akapiza High School Nangonde, teacher of CRE. Our question is saying how we have been applying ICT in our lessons. I've applied it several times on different topics. I happened to teach a topic of leisure one time, and there was a concept that I was driving to the learners, but they were not understanding me well. That was about different activities of leisure. So I used my phone. I had recordings on the memory card concerning singers, but they were audio-visual. So I opened it. I was moving because it was one, and the number was big. I tasked myself to move around because I didn't want this learner, if I was to give a learner to move around, I was going to miss. So myself, I was moving those groups, showing them how people can have entertainment or rather leisure using different activities, and much like was singing. That's how I applied it.
Okay, I think that is enough. We have seen how different teachers are using ICTs in their classrooms. So we can as well share. We can even use in the chat section, or we raise our hands and contribute. How do we use ICTs in our different subjects? Yes, let's hear from here. You can unmute.
Yes, Mr. Kakuru, can you hear me?
Very well.
Okay, for me, I am a teacher of ICT and geography.
Okay.
So like when we go to the field of geography, I use these Google apps. I open my email, then I go to the other apps and show my runners different places using Google Earth and Google Maps.
Okay.
But besides that one also, I have in most instances used ICT to download some information, for example, the notes from Shareability and others. Then when it comes to ICT, I have used most of the ICT gadgets for reference. Like when it comes to senior one, including the smart board, we can talk of the woofers, the radios, among many other things. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, Hilary. In the chat, I'm seeing David says, I, for example, go to Google, search for the activities of the apostles. I download images of the apostles involving in different activities and put them in slides. That is good. And I teach. Then after, I send the slides to the learners. So, David, I can also request you to tell us how you send the slides to the learners. Okay, David, you can also send that in the chat. How do you send the slides to the learners? Let's also hear from Rutalo. Unmute.
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
I'm a history geography teacher. With
Okay.
history, first of all, for example, you have gone for field work. You use the cameras, both the normal cameras, the digital cameras, and our phones to take photos of different areas, so that when you come back, they are a form of reminder to those who had gone for the field work as they give feedback, or even help those who are not able to go out for the field work. When it comes to other subjects like volcanicity, farming, you download the videos, the students watch and they respond. They give you what they have seen, then you can build from that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Rehema. That was good. And we have actually explained this concept that ICT integration is not all about computers, but using different ICT tools. In the chat, David says, first share with them in a lesson via Zoom, then send the slides in the WhatsApp groups. Okay. So these ones are using the collaborative tools. Then Gaba Hilary says, I majorly share the materials through Google collaboration tools using Google Drive, Google Docs. Okay, that is nice. And we are really applying ICT in our different subjects. So with the competence-based curriculum, we are seeing that ICT has been really integrated, and then it appears in the framework of each syllabus. So when you look at this slide, this is how it has been summarized in each of the syllabus. So they are showing you category of a task in the syllabus, then ICT application, how ICT will be integrated for the task category. So some of us who have had time to interact with these books, so to open up and see, we have seen this appearing on certain pages. If I can also share another screen here. When you look at this, this is the biology syllabus. And when you look at, let's say, I'm trying to scroll briefly. So when you look at this is topic 1, introduction to biology. So they are telling you ICT support. Let me try to zoom. Okay, hopefully here we can see. So here they are telling you that ICT support. Use a suitable graphical program to design a pond or an aquarium. Then 2, use the internet to research information about life processes. So this means that here they are telling you how you will use the ICT, you as a facilitator, you as an instructor. Then when you look at this topic, what did they say? They are saying ICT support. The learner can use a suitable graphical program to draw animal or plant cells, etc, etc. So when you look at the syllabuses, they are even telling you how you will use what? The ICT tools to make the lessons more interesting to the learners. So when you look at this, the learner can use the internet to obtain images of living organisms and show how they are similar or different in a presentation or a word processor. Okay, so that is a sample from a biology syllabus book. So here, coming back to the slide, I can request someone to briefly take us through this. You can read, and we see how we apply ICT on different tasks. You can raise your hand and be active here. Can I pick Hilary, your own? Okay, let me pick Job.
Can you hear me?
Okay, yes. Take it on.
Okay. So we have the two columns. One column, we have the category of a task in the syllabus, and in another column, we have ICT application, or how ICT will be integrated for the task category. We have number one as field work, and on field work, ICT is applied through the use of cameras to take photos and record videos. Then locating places on a map. In ICT, we use digital maps such as Google Maps or an equivalent application. But I think here Google Earth was also supposed to be included there because it is much important even than the Google Map. Then presentation in class, use presentation application. Then search for keywords and meanings. That one we use online dictionary or search online. Then making drawings or graphics in ICT, it is measured through the use of publishing software or word processor. Then role play narrations, it is through the use of audio and video recordings. Then in demonstrations, we use audio, video recordings, models, and simulations. Locating and putting marks on an area, there is through the use of digital or online mapping. Then show data charts, statistics. In ICT, we majorly use spreadsheet software. Data analysis, we use spreadsheet or any other specialized data analysis software. Then group discussions, majorly in ICT application, it is mind mapping software. Then search for extra reading materials in ICT, that is majorly done through downloading files from the internet. Then writing equations and formulae, we have use of equation editors. Then carry out academic research, we majorly use the internet and other academic applications like Encarta, Britannica, among others. Then share or run with your peers or people across the world. In ICT, it is to form the learning networks with blogs, social media, emails, or any other networking application.
Yes.
So
thank
that
you
is
very
it.
much. Thank you very much. So we have seen how we are supposed to integrate ICT in our different subjects, depending on different tasks or a task category. If it is field work, take cameras so that you can take photos and record videos. If you are in geography, you can use someone talked of Google Earth and Google Maps, etc. So let's briefly have an activity, a breakaway session. So we are going to join different groups, and in our 3 groups, this is what we are going to do. Group 1, you are basically looking at information. You are going to discuss how to use ICTs to research for authentic information and any precautions that you need to consider while searching for this content online. If you join group 2, you are looking at communication. And so you will discuss how communication and collaboration tools aid the delivery of the competence-based curriculum. If you go to group 3, yours is technology. And what are you looking at? You will identify the key tech skills, the technology skills, in other words, the competencies that all teachers and students are ought to possess in the competence-based curriculum. So I'm going to request my co-host, Rogers. You can send
I'm requesting for 3 volunteers to put up their hands so that they become the chairpersons of the various groups. Just put up your hand and you get a chance to be a co-host. Anyone who is ready? Makubuya Stephen, you are going to be group 1. You are leading information. Let us get another person. Agawa Hilary, you are going to be the chairperson of group number 2. Ladies, where are you? Ladies, where are you? In the new curriculum, we are supposed to be gender sensitive. We are supposed to be inclusive. Let us get a lady.
Beatrice, Aisha.
Okay. Any lady standing up to the task? Have we got any lady? Okay, Rehema. So Rehema, you are going to be in group number 3. You are going to be the. So when I open the meetings, you will go into group number 3. So I hope you have understood the questions. You can even test the microphone to make sure that you'll be able to speak. You can read the members. I'm opening the groups within just a second. And we shall be in the groups. Okay. The groups are open. Feel free to join the group of any group. So we are having the group discussion. Let me share on this main slide. Let me share the presentation to remain here. Hello, members. This is group number 1. Do we have someone, the leader for this group? Has the leader joined? I'm going to assign someone. Okay. Let me get someone here to Mr. Ogwal. Maybe you help. I don't know if you're able to get points from the members. That we are discussing in group 1 how to use ICTs to research for authentic information. We are so I want you to help us be the chairperson here. Okay.
Hello, members. Members, let's unmute. Hello. Hello. We have
Hello.
Yes, our question is saying we discuss how to use ICT to research for authentic information. How do we go about this question, members?
Is Beatrice on call? I've seen Roger join us. Roger, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Beatrice, are you online? Amza. Yes. Okay. Here, please contribute. What comes to your competence?
Yes. One is actual performance in some area. The actual performance that somebody puts.
Actual performance in an area. That is nice. In an area. Another contribution, actually.
I think it should be what one can do and up to a measurable standard.
What one can do, what
one can do
at a measurable
can do in measurable terms.
Measurable standards or terms. Okay. Any other contribution?
Members? Hello, members, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, my network here tends to be unstable. So let us go to some other people and we'll see how they have been using Google collaboration. So if you have what to contribute, you can raise your hand and then we share. But the experience I have had with Google collaboration tools, there is work to an extent that you can easily share with someone and you ease the work. So let us hear from Aimbaze Assumpta, and she can share the experience of how she has been using the Google collaboration tools.
Use YouTube.
Stogwa.
Yes, sir.
Yes, the gentleman was saying that by using the smartphones to record videos and also to take audio files.
Okay. What time is over?
But I didn't hear. The lady was giving us about YouTube, but we didn't get very well.
Okay. Members, our time is over and we are back at the main session. Mr. Kakuru.
Yes, I'm on.
Okay, I stop sharing. You share a slide where you can note the points.
It's fine.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to share. So let's hear from group one. Group one, we were discussing how to use ICTs to research for authentic information. Any proportions so we can hear from them?
Yes, group one members suggested that we can use our smartphones or our computers and we visit authentic websites. And the members gave an example of organizations that we are sure of. Then they also talked of utilizing YouTube. On YouTube, you can access some videos, of course, after you've watched, and then you can present to your learners in classroom. One of the members also suggested the use of our smartphones or cameras to record videos. Yeah, you can go somewhere, you take a recording, and there you will be sure of the information you are taking to the class or for your students as well. Then also recording audios with the help of our smartphones. Yes, basically we had reached that point and time was not on our side.
Okay.
Yes.
So when you look at group one's question was saying, discuss how to use ICTs to research for authentic information. We can as well hear from other group members what they have to say about this question. You can raise your hand and give contribution to this group. Yes, Mohammed, you can unmute.
Hello?
Mohammed, yes.
Yeah, thank you, Bernard. I might not have an answer really, but my concern is because somebody was saying research on recognized government website, something like that. But we have come to learn that many masqueraders use the fake websites and they dupe people. So my concern is, can we really have the tools to authenticate some of these websites? Because many things have come up and later the organization, they were trying to portray comes out, say this is not from us. That was my concern. Thank you, Bernard.
Yes, thank you. Actually, when we talk of how to verify content on the internet, that one can even take us another hour. Finding for all those criteria that one should follow to find out authentic information online. I see a hand from Beatrice. You can unmute and say something. And then later I can clarify on some. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. One segment on group 1 has to do with precautions. So I'm of the view that as we search for this authentic information, we need to take care of privacy for confidentiality. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you too. Let me check in the chat. Okay, Stephen is talking about his data. Okay, so I wanted more, at least members, to briefly hint on some other questions. Beatrice talked about privacy. Any other precautions we can take while researching for authentic information?
For me, what I can contribute there,
yes,
is that it is not every website that have got the correct information. Now, how can we tell that this website is suitable and this website is not suitable to the information that we are going to get? Usually on the websites, there is the word HTTPS. So when you are on the website and you see just the word HTTP, get to know that website is not good. It will not provide what you want. That S stands for secure. And if you search when you are not secure, it means you will find when you have disposed your information. We can talk of the date of birth and some other important information, including the bank account and others. So to avoid this one, let us always use the websites that have HTTPS at the beginning, but not HTTP.
Okay, thank you. In the chat, Joyce is saying that there are a number of educational links with HTTPS that provide information on different subjects that a teacher can read and verify. The authenticity. Thank you, Joyce. Then Naomi says that all rights reserved as we get info. Okay. You see, with the competence-based curriculum, almost all our responses are right. Okay. So thank you all those who have contributed to group 1's responses. We can go to group 2. Group 2, they were given a task to discuss how communication and collaboration tools aid the delivery of the competence-based curriculum. So we can hear from group 2. Yes, group 2 leader, you could take on the lead. Yes, group 2. Group 2. Okay, the members of group 2, if the leader, maybe the leader is off. Group 2, you can share with us. Group 2.
Maybe first go to group 3. Group 2, they are still thinking.
Let's go to group 3. They were supposed to identify the key tech skills or competencies that all teachers and students ought to possess in the competence-based. So we can have group 3.
Yes.
Yes.
Group was made of 7 people. Since they are here, we recognize them: Jonathan, Drusilla, Beatrice, Sally, Jackson, and Rogers, and myself. And first of all, we had to describe what we mean by skills. And we agreed that skills would be looked at as the ability or capacity to do something well. Then when it came to competences, we all agreed that it would come up into two or more paragraphs, but at the end of the day, we had to see how much the person has achieved after a particular program. So when we went to mention the different skills and competences, we looked at communication as a skill. We looked at someone being with the capacity to do research and search. These are two different things, research and search. Then we also looked at the competency of presentation. After you have got what you have been searching for, can you present to the rest of the members? How do you display?
A moment. The first skill was about?
Communication. Oh, I'm so sorry. I forgot you are noting. Communication.
Okay. Go on.
Search.
Yes, search.
Presentation.
Okay.
Loading the gadgets.
Like that?
Yes.
Okay.
The gadgets. Sharing the information.
Okay.
Recording.
Okay.
That's what we managed to put in place before you're brought back to the main session. Any contributions are welcome. Thank you, Group 3 members.
Thank you too. Let's have more answers from other colleagues. We could put them here. The question was saying, identify the key tech skills or competencies that all teachers, students ought to possess in the competence best. So more responses are welcome. More competencies. We can as well use the chat section. Okay. If there are no more skills, someone can talk about the typing skills. Those are also skills that one may need. We can mention as many as we can. The list is endless. Okay. So let me invite Group 2. In the chat, Agava says drawing skills. Okay. All those skills are important. So typing skills, then drawing skills. Okay. Then in the chat, someone says ability to use applications, booting skills and shutting down. Okay. All these are important. Okay, I'm welcoming your ideas in the chat section. Okay, interpersonal skills. Oh, thank you for all these competencies. So meanwhile, let's give Group 2 a chance to express their views. Group 2. Group 2.
Mr. Kakoru.
Yes, please.
I don't know whether it wasn't it Mr. Gava who was the chairperson. Members of Group 2. But you are very quiet. People were asking, what did your members discuss?
No, my internet here is having many issues, so I'm not quiet, but it is my internet which is not all that way good. But I have tried to connect the phone now. I'm not using the Wi-Fi. Okay. They were asking us how the Google collaboration tools have been used or how they are important in as far as CBS or the competency-based curriculum is concerned. So these are some of the submissions of different members on the beginning, they have first outlined the Google collaboration tools that they use. And among those ones, they have mentioned Google Drive, Google Classroom. Then they have also talked about Google Docs. And another one also talked about WhatsApp groups. So now, in their explanation, they were saying that these are very important to an extent that they have increased the sharing among the teachers and learners. How? One have given us an example that he stays very far from the workstation, and like at time back, they told them set the exams, but he was not at the station. So what he did, he used Google Docs to connect with other teachers. He gave them the permission to be the editors. So as he was typing number 1, other teachers were typing number 2, others number 3, like that. Then they have also said these Google collaboration tools have helped them save time. And now, how has this one been achieved? There is timeliness to an extent that you can finish the work within a very short period of time. Then they have also said that with the use of Google Classroom, rather of Google collaboration tools, it has enabled them to share information with very many people at a given time. So those were some of the submissions, and others I did not hear them properly because here my internet was quite unstable, but those are some of the submissions by the group 2 members.
Okay, thank you, Agava. We can get more responses from the group members or the entire team. The question, I can go back to the question. The question was saying, identify the key, discuss how communication and collaboration tools aid the delivery of the competence-based curriculum. So it's still open for us to add more points as a team.
Yes, maybe Mr. Kakuru.
Yes.
I just want to give just some little guidance there before Madam Rehema comes in. If you go back to the other image, which was there, which had ICT, a slide there up. C was communication. And in the new curriculum, there is collaboration within the learners and even the teachers. You may even have 2 teachers teaching 1 lesson because you need to observe the learners. Yeah, so there is I can see your slide has gone off. So there is okay, let me just share mine just a second. I am not going to waste a lot of time. I have your slide here. So there is this slide which this one here is one I was talking about. So these tools, email, for example, as teachers, we need to start using email in our staff room to communicate, to share content. So group 2 was mainly talking about Google collaboration, but it's not just about Google collaboration, it is in general communication. How can it help us in that regard? Regarding what? Regarding the according to how the question here, how they can help us in aiding delivery. So between us, the teachers, collaborating in a department, working on notes in Google Drive together, but also sharing this with the learners in a physical class as well, also in e-learning. So that is what I wanted to chip in there. Then there's the other question also, which was in group 1. I just want to share it now. Someone asked, how do we authenticate information? There is something known as quota. It is the information evaluation criteria. When you search something on the internet, not everything is right. You have to find out, is it qualified? Who blogged about? Was it a blog? Who posted it? So you have to find out who is the author. If it is on a domain like edu, you also look at the domain names, edu.org or university website, look at the author. So if it is a mere blog on Wikipedia, maybe you should know that, okay, this is authenticity. Then when was it updated, up to date? You may find information on the website saying that the capital city of Liberia is maybe some capital city. But when that information was posted 10 years ago and the capital city changed, so you look at currency, how up to date. Then objectivity. Is this information written by someone blowing his own trumpet, or it is? Yeah, so basically that is quota. So there is a lot accuracy. So you when you're evaluating information, look at quota. That should guide you. You can go ahead, Mr. Kakuru. Sorry for taking your time. I just wanted to chip in there. You can go ahead and wrap up.
That you are the author. Is it quota?
Quota. I'll post it in the chat.
Okay, thank you.
That is the criteria used to evaluate information.
So let me take this opportunity to thank all group members for taking part in the activity. Rehema, you can first speak to us and we go on.
Yeah, thank you. I'm not responding direct to their question, but I want to throw some light with the example they use. When you say that you are asked to set questions just like that, and you and you start giving feedback from different members, at that particular moment, I get scared as a head of school, because what I know with assessment, you want to identify how much has been attained through that teaching, meaning it needs more preparation than just throwing in questions at that moment. So to fellow teachers, that was not right. That was my feedback. At least we can change the example, but we should know when you are assessing, you have something you are assessing for. Madam Rehema, as a student, came in at A. Has she reached B? Meaning not anyone will help you to set, because it's you who has been attending to those students. Thank you very much. I pray my response is taken in good faith.
Okay, it was a good one, and I'm sure Agawa is not rejecting it. Let's hear from him. Agawa?
Okay,
yes.
That one, yes, I was using it an example. And by the way, I am happy with that head of the school. Thank you for being an active leader. But what I can say, I was just using it as an example.
Okay, please.
But
Okay, please.
in actual sense, there are some other ways that you can use. For example, you can take a picture of the questions. Remember, we have to first prepare the blueprint whenever we are setting the exams. So you can, for example, prepare your blueprint, take the photo, share via WhatsApp with some other teachers, then they help you when it comes to typing. Yes, I did not go deep in explaining that one, but that is how I usually do it. Mrs. Teacher, I want that you tell me, is it a good way or it is not a good way?
No, that one is fine because you have prepared. My issue was you have to prepare.
Yeah, I first prepare, take the photos, then send them the questions through the use of WhatsApp.
No problem. Thank you for the feedback.
Okay, thank you, head teacher, for harmonizing with the teacher. We can now proceed. So from here, we want to see some of the, I see a hand from Job. Hopefully it is not too long. Job, okay. Job, are you able to speak? I think Job is not able to speak. Okay, so here let's look at the different tools, different sites that we can refer to in our different subjects to ensure that we are really integrating ICT to enhance learning.
Hello.
Yes, Job. Yes, Job. I think Job is unable to speak. So we have what we call offline and online digital libraries for information or for videos. I know most of us have interacted with these different platforms For example, if I talk of YouTube, most of us have interacted with YouTube. And now here we can briefly maybe see how we can download the videos from there, so that if you are in your lesson, you are able to play that clip and make learning more interesting. So when, for example, when you look at this video that we have been playing, in case you need to download it, you could come here, you right click. Hopefully you are seeing my screen. Can you see my screen, the one for YouTube?
Yes, but yes, we are seeing.
Okay, so from here, I can right click in the video and I say copy URL. So when I click there, I can come and open a new tab and I say y2met, like that, y2met.com. So when I press enter, it is going to bring this page. I can now paste the link here. After pasting it here, it is going to generate. And so from here, I can choose to download this. So when you tap download, it is going to start downloading. So it is generating here. So you tap download MP4. It is going to download. I don't know whether you are seeing this other screen. This one. So when I tap on start download, I will get that clip and then I'll be able to share it with learners in our live class engagement. So that is about YouTube. You can as well use other methods to download videos, like you can use YouTube. I mean, you can use Internet Download Manager and many others that are available. So we can as well visit NCDC website and download these different materials, because we are looking at online libraries. We shall also look at offline libraries for resources, reading materials, videos. Okay, so NCDC website. So when you tap on that link, it will automatically open the site where you can access the learning materials. So if I can open, so here it opens. So from here, you can choose the subject you want. You download, you want a teacher's guide, you want learner's book. So you tap and download. And download, when you tap here, it is not even going to take longer. So if you see my screen well, it is also prompting me to download. And when I tap there, it will start the download process and it is almost done. That's why my screen went off. Okay, that is NCDC site. Even the home learning school materials are still there. Then also NCDC has NCDC Digital, where it has uploaded study videos or simplified lessons for every learner. You can as well visit that site, ncdcgo.ug.digital. So when you tap there, you are able to get lessons that are pre-recorded and you keep following. So more to that, we have s1.org. So when you go to s1.org/courses, you are able to get different subjects of senior 1 curriculum. You can see art and design, biology, chemistry, CRI, etc. All these subjects are on their website, senior1.org/courses. Then we also have Shareability, which is one of the biggest pool that has resources from baby class, even university content is there. So when you visit shareability.net, you are able to get most of the content there in form of presentations, notes, tests, questions, exams, video lessons, tutorials, and much more. These ones, they are favoring even the 21st century learner. Then we also have Yaka Digital Network. So Yaka Digital Network also has different subjects that are available from baby class up to secondary level, and even tertiary courses are also there. So when you visit such online libraries, you are able to get learning materials from there and use them in different ways in your classrooms. Basically, we are looking at how best can we utilize ICT in our different subjects. And maybe before I talk about offline digital libraries, allow me first talk about FATE. FATE, this is also an online platform, and it has interactive simulations like what you see here. So when you go to FATE, you are able to get some animations, some simulations that can aid your science subjects. For example, if I'm in, say, physics, and I'm teaching about the balancing, so if I can tap there, so you see this, if I turn this on, and I bring a 5 kg, I mean 15 kg, and maybe this side I put 20 kg, you see? So if I put this there, maybe I extend this somewhere there, maybe I can add another, you see? They are trying to balance. And maybe you are in physics and you are teaching about maybe the pendulum bob. I think it is loading. So here, if you can start it and you drag this, you say start, it will start swinging as you are using your stopwatches to record the results. So those are the online platforms we can talk about, and many more, because the list is endless. Going forward, let's look at the offline. We can talk about Microsoft Encarta Multimedia Encyclopedia. We saw these ones in the syllabus recommendations that we can use Encarta. Encarta was produced sometime back, and actually the latest version was common around 2010, but these are still relevant in subjects like biology, chemistry, and those others that require discoveries. These are still relevant because the content there is really multimedia. Videos, audio, text is there. So in case someone wants Encarta, someone wants Encyclopedia Britannica, you can get it on a DVD. Here we have these numbers. You can call this number and have your special package. This is by Stephen Dumba. He's one of the partners under s1.org. So you can get these packages and still use them in your classrooms or in your facilitations. Then another offline digital library, we can talk of Rachel and the Advice MyPie. So this one, when you look at this Rachel, we have to load multimedia content there. You can load videos there. You can load digital books there, so that once it is networked, those learners who have tablets, or if you have smartphones, you can connect to a hotspot. Then you log into its IP address, and then you are able to access different digital learning materials for your different subjects. So if you need Rachel and Advice MyPie, you can call these numbers. Even we have an article on ICT teachers, ug.net. So when you tap that link, you are able to read much more about the Rachel and Advice MyPie. So those are offline websites that are accessed via a wireless local area network hotspot. Next, we can talk about Corbury. some of us have been involved in different workshops and you have heard about Curricullum now and again. So if, for example, if you look at this link, elearning.education.go.ug, if you go there, you can access digital content and it can also be accessed offline, Curricullum. Then even we have another one, elearning.nascsu.org. So here you can as well get content of pre-primary, primary, and secondary. Content in form of textbooks, notes, slides, videos, video recorded lessons, all these are available. So those are digital libraries. Maybe in case we have questions, let me first give this opportunity for those who have questions. You can raise your hand or send a text in the chat about those tools I talked about, maybe both offline and online. If there are no questions,
maybe
okay.
Mr. Kakuru,
Come in.
just a small tip. Yeah, so teachers, as you saw in the syllabus, they want you to have time for learners to research. So instead of them just researching in the library, which may be having a few books, you can set up your computer lab to be having not just computers for typing Word and Excel, but you can put there something like Colibri or Rachel or Encarta or Britannica. It can be installed. So they don't need internet even, because the internet is expensive. So once they install these, during a biology lesson, learners can go to the computer lab and they research about the human eye using Encarta or using Rachel. If your learners have a tab. So basically that is it. That's what I wanted to chip in. And we have if you want for a school, you can contact us. ICT Teachers Association, we can be able to come and install in your computer lab these items. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say, Mr. Kakuru. You can continue.
Okay, thank you, Rogers. So from here, our next area of concern in the competence-based curriculum, we want to look at the activity or problem, call it project-based teaching and learning. So we need, I'm sure all of us are aware that we live in a problem-based world. So otherwise, if we never had problems in this world, we wouldn't be studying, we wouldn't be doing the learning and facilitation. So living in a problem-based world, we need to have projects so that we can solve some of the problems. So here is our group activity. You're going to share your experiences on projects that you have used for teaching and learning. What problem was the project meant to address? You can share a list of activities you used to carry out the project. And how would the learner benefit by participating in each of these activities? Then categorize the benefits from the previous activity as discoveries, explanations, analysis, and applications. So we can have a sharing session. We are free to share, bring a problem or project-based activity, and we share lessons. Yes, the floor is open to us.
Maybe Mr. Kakuru.
Yes, please.
Let me just give some insight again on that, because I know our time has actually gone. But members will have to be a bit patient with us, like 15 minutes, so that we can wrap up.
Your volume is a bit low.
Hey, I think I was touching the microphone. Are you now hearing me?
Yes, you are okay.
Hey, I was saying that our time is actually up. We are supposed to end at 5:30, but we can go for more 15 minutes and see how we wrap up this. Yeah, so in the new curriculum, one of the things which is also on the timetable is projects. They want learners to be doing projects. For example, in agriculture, they want you to have a project of a nursery bed. Or so the projects such that they do some project, they team up and they do something. Yeah, so that is what it is here. So the members can be able to share with us. You can tell us your subject. And if you have ever engaged in a project with the learners before, you can share with us and how the learners benefited from this, how they discovered, how they explored, so you can be able to share something. That is, maybe we can get 1 or 2 members and then we can harmonize on that as we wrap up.
Yes, members, we are open to discuss. Okay, I pick a hand from Rehema. You can
But
unmute.
I'm inquiring, is it okay to share on the side of administration?
It's fine, share.
Okay. The problem at hand was fees collection. The school is settled in rural Kalungu West, and the clientele goes as far as Gulu, Kampala, Barara, blah, blah, blah. So here was the issue. Keeping on sending them home was the problem at hand, because you found that every time they were missing some part of the class, either a week out or 2 weeks and the rest of it all. So what was the activity? I called for assembly as a head of school and I said, we are having this challenge. We cannot do without fees. Most of you come from very far, and we have realized every time some of you go home, they don't return. I want you to help me as students. How do we handle your parents in that line? So at the end of the day, the students began sharing. Yes, Hajat, we have a group of students. If you don't go home, you will not get fees. We realized we had another group that shared, as long as you call my dad as administration, he will send the fees. Then we had another group. If I am given a chance to call as a student and remind them, they will get the fees. So at the end of the day, how did the students benefit? We saw that we could fit in according to the different homes they come from and how their parents are attached to education. So basically that is it that I thought about that could help. So at the end of the day, we can see we had the activity, we had the problem, we came up with solutions with the students. At the end of the day, they benefited, and we are able to collect the fees as the school. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, our head teacher present. So that was a good on the side of administration. Now let's take it back to the learners. We need an activity, we need a project with the learners. For example, if you are handling agriculture and you are telling learners to come up with a nursery bed. So here you are looking at learners gaining skills in that project. Maybe, do we have an agriculture teacher here? We have an agriculture teacher present. Yes, Jackson.
I'm actually not an agriculture teacher. I'm a math teacher.
Okay.
I would love to share with you what has been happening in my school in Masindi district.
Okay.
Actually, what I would do, first of all, cite out, there is a gap in this area that we are calling project learning. It has not sunk in us as teachers, so we need a training that is going to take us into projects. But what I've observed in my school is in agriculture, where our learners are involved in the growing of greens, and these greens are put in their bins sometimes, and sometimes they are made for teachers to have as a meal in the staff room. But what happens as this agriculture class, they sell to the school. at the end of it all, they earn from their sweat. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Rogers, do you have anything to say about this?
I think it's okay. At least members have got the idea. We just briefly hinted on it. But we have to identify projects in all subjects, in geography. So when you teach a chapter, think of something that learners can do as a project, and then you give them and they do, and such that they can learn from it. Yeah, so the curriculum we shall keep getting more about this. So integrate ICT and also use projects, and let the learners be able to. There's this concept known as DIA. This project should help them to discover. There are some things that they will not learn through this small activity or activity of integration, but they will learn through a project. For example, we have things like science fair. If you tell learners, if it is ICT, and you tell them to do a calendar or a magazine, so they will make meetings, they will discuss, they will be doing something like in the real world. At the end of the day, they will come up with a magazine, they will contribute money, there will be one who will go and print. So projects include even contributing money, coming up doing something as when it is them doing everything. I hope I've managed to clarify. So they'll be able to discover things. You tell them to present their projects. You tell them to analyze and also to apply that in real life. Okay, Mr. Kakuru, you can proceed. And
thank you, my co-facilitator. That was good. So I think members, we need to really embrace a group. I mean, we need to embrace projects in our different subjects, so that learners have at least, if it is not hands-on, but it is really making them to work beyond the academics. So here, to wrap up, basically, let me request someone to take on this slide as a wrap-up. Someone who hasn't spoken anything, you could raise your hand and at least participate by wrapping up with this slide. Any person waiting? Okay. Okay, Drusilla. Unmute.
Thank you. Yes, I'm unmuted.
Okay.
Thank you. When you told me to wrap up, I don't know if you mean I read.
Yeah, it's fine. You can read, then I will add some words there. You are still muted.
If it is reading, okay, today we looked at how I'm unmuted. I'm very muted. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Go on.
Yes. So I was saying, today we've looked at how we can embed technology in the teaching and learning of the competence-based curriculum. And this technology can be used to stimulate the learners so that they can learn. The eagerness, the zeal, the curiosity to learn is done by the use of technology. It can be used as a tool for better understanding of what is being taught. The learners have a broader picture of what is being taught if we use technology. For extended learning and discovery, when you give the learners an assignment to go to the internet and do some searching and research, they're able to discover so many things. And then as they do a project, for example, because we've looked at also the ability to give a project concerning IT in our learning. So when you give a project, when learning is going on, we should be able to make observations on how the learners are benefiting or solving and applying that project at hand. We should hold conversations with the learners to figure out how far they are moving with the project. And we should also look at the product at the end of the project. So the project, the end product is supposed to reflect the learning, the expected learning outcomes. And then we should be able to keep record of what the learners have been able to produce. And when that happens, it's going to give us a continuous kind of assessment, which we shall be able to submit at UNEB. Thank you very much. That is what I can say for the wrap up. I hope I've been clear.
Thank you very much, Madam Drusilla. You have actually added the words that I wanted to use in each point. That was very good. So above all, if we have joined the Google Classroom, we need to find our assignment there. This is the assignment. Even these session slides have been shared there in our Google Classroom. So let's find them. We can do the assignment and we submit for review. Let's submit that assignment for review. It has been put in our Google Classroom. So if you look at the Google Classroom, basically, the content has been put there. So
maybe Mr. Kakuru.
Yes, please.
There are those who don't know Google Classroom. We just briefly tell them through the browser how they can access. Yesterday I showed the phone version. So through the browser, they just search Google Classroom and then they join.
Okay. So for those who haven't joined Google Classroom, you now go to your email. So you go to your email. Let me try to log into my email. For example, you can see this is my email. So if you want to join Google Classroom, you come here under Google Apps. Then from here, you scroll down and tap on Google Classroom. It is here. It's called Classroom. So when you touch there, it is going to, it's loading. So from here, we have this plus, top right. When you tap on that plus, it says join class, create class. So here you are joining our class. So when you tap on join class, you will enter the Google code, the Google Classroom code. And here is our Google Classroom code. It's here. PMCRAVZ. So when you tap on that, I mean, when you enter that, you automatically join the Google Classroom. So when you join the Google Classroom, you will find the content that we have posted there. And that's all for now. In case,
and maybe, Mr. Kakuru.
Yes.
That assignment, you can just open it and you just clarify it just briefly. You open it there, the instructions.
I can now open as a student. Let me open as a student.
Yeah, so the assignment wants you to apply one of the skills. One of the skills we said the teacher needs is presentation skills.
So when we go into our Google Classroom, we shall tap under classwork. So when we go under classwork, here is the content. So these are the notes we have been going through today. And I've even posted the assignment. And here is our assignment. The assignment here.
Yeah. So the first task is they have to go to the NCDC website and they download a learner's book and a teacher's guide for their subject. Yesterday, the assignment was telling them to download the syllabus, but today you're supposed to download the teacher's guide, the learner's book for your subject. And then in that book, you look for one learning outcome or a subtopic, which can be a lesson. So you are going to create a PowerPoint presentation. So now you're using ICT. Maybe at your school you have a projector, which you are going to use. That presentation, it is to aid your delivery of the lesson. So in that presentation, you include some pictures, some stimulus material, or you download the YouTube video. And make sure you put it in your PowerPoint. And then that is the PowerPoint you are going to submit. So when you do this assignment, it will prove that you know how to use ICT, because you'll be using a computer, you'll be using internet, you'll be creating a slide, you'll be downloading pictures and putting them, so it will summarize ICT integration. So that is what we want. We want to just create a PowerPoint. It could be 5 slides on any lesson, based from referring to your teacher's guide or learner's book. Just create a simple lesson and submit it there. Then also we have shared a link, a feedback form. It is there. Please, you try to go to the chat, give us feedback on today's lesson, and also any questions that you want us to handle in the upcoming sessions. So there is a form there. It is in the chat. Just put your name, your email, your phone number, and maybe you can put your school. Then down there is the topic for today and any feedback, questions or feedback. Put them in there, and then we shall be good to review that. Okay, that is all I think for now, Mr. Kakuru. And
okay, thank you for your input as well. So today we have been looking at using ICT in activity-based teaching and learning. So tomorrow onwards, don't miss the coming sessions. For tomorrow, we are having formative assessment in the revised curriculum. So in case there are no questions, submissions, I really thank you for participating, and thank you for listening to me, and big ups to s1.org. So I think, Rogers, that's it. I don't know how we are wrapping it up.
Yeah, I think that is it. We are going to have a closing prayer. Let me get someone from senior.org to Madame Drusilla. You can say a word and then you just end with a prayer.
Thank you, Mr. Rogers. Thank you, Mr. Kakuru, for that insightful presentation. We have really not remained the same. Members, if you have realized, that presentation has been sponsored by senior1.org, the very first one of its kind, providing online education to senior 1 students based on the new competence-based curriculum. We offer a lot. It includes counseling and guidance. We give the learners the proper talent development opportunities, and as well as providing an online education. That is what makes our platform to stand out. That is senior1.org. We're having Zoom classes going on. We have an open Google Classroom, and YouTube. Our YouTube name is Senior1UG. It's the same for Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok. Please follow us and support us. Inform a friend to inform a friend who has a senior 1, or someone joining senior 1. Please sign up for our website, for our platform. We are really going to be your next generation classroom. Thank you. Then allow me to pray. Let's humble ourselves and pray. Loving Father, I thank you for the wisdom you give the people that are talking to us. And as we take on this week, we pray for your guidance and protection in whatever it is we are going to do. Bless and grant us wisdom and understanding. Through Jesus Christ, we pray and believe. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, members. It is now, you can say a bye-bye. You can feel free to turn on your video and you say bye-bye. And have a nice evening, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Good evening.
May God bless you. Mr. Gaba from URDT. You greet all those members there. Bye-bye. Thank you, Mr. Kakuru.
Most welcome.